By the evening campfire, Boindil rummages around in his rucksack and pulls out a cheese wrapped in a cloth. He sticks a fist-sized piece on a spit and grills it on the fire.
Ah, there's nothing better than grilled cheese at the end of a long day.
The smell it gives off makes you hold your breath.
Oh, it smells like my socks after weeks of marching in my boots.
Oh, picky, are you? Hardly surprising, considering you were brought up by humans. It's ruined your taste.
Boindil holds the stinky cheese at the end of the stick under your nose.
Eat, and stop complaining.
You pull the warm piece of cheese from the stick. It tastes dreadful. Your fingers will smell of it for the next few days, and probably your mouth will too. You approach Scalebrook through its expansive fields and spot smoke rising up into the sky. A short while later, you can hear the cries of battle, and finally you can smell the tallow on the orc's armour. Scalebrook is at war.
Quick, we have to help those people.
Yeah!
I can't do that yet.
Yeah!
Please wait a moment.
Who's next? Too easy!
Find somewhere safe to hide. We'll come back for you once we've saved the other villagers.
Pow! Another one bites the dust!
I can't do that yet.
Yeah!
Please wait a moment.
That's it! They're fleeing! I don't think so, they're just rallying!
And that's what we should do too. Come on.
Thank you so much. You saved us.
Not yet. The orcs are rallying. You must join us.
But we can't.
You must. Here they come.
Put up a fight!
Yes, and again.
Yeah!
I can't do that yet.
I didn't hit you very hard! What now? I'm not that quick! What is it? Yeah!
Please wait a moment.
Huh? Huh?
Yes?
And what now? I didn't hit you very hard. Yes, yes, so. Who's next? Pow! Another one bites the dust. I didn't hit you very hard. Pow! Another one bites the dust. Yes?
Huh?
What is it?
While Boindale still hunts the last of the orcs through the alleyways of the village, you and Boendal are already helping search for survivors. Various villagers, all with shocked, ashen faces, come and thank you for saving them. A middle-aged man nervously steps from one foot to the other and tries to force a smile.
My father, the village elder, he is dead. I think I must follow in his footsteps, so I thank you in the name of Scalebrook. He left behind some gold as a dowry for my sister. She's...
The man bows his head, produces a leather pouch, and kneads it with trembling hands.
If only you'd come earlier.
But before you can reply, the man takes a deep breath and forces himself to look at you.
What am I saying? How ungrateful. Thanks to you, many of us are still alive. My daughter may be able to marry one day, thanks to your bravery.
The man hesitates briefly, then thrusts the leather pouch towards you.
We won't accept your gold. Bury your dead, rebuild your village, and be a good father to your daughter.
Boendal looks at you, and you think you can see an approving nod. The man opens his mouth to say something, but then he just shakes his head and finally starts again.
I thank you, dear sir, but there is no way I can let you go with empty hands. Here, take this. My father bought it from a trader, one of your kind.
The closer you get to Parista, the livelier the streets become. Many of the large buildings in the city are even taller than the high city wall. But one building towers above them all, the palace. Its dome gleams white in the sun. It is the seat of the Council of Magi, and its central tower, which juts high into the sky, serves as a waypoint for travellers as far as 50 miles away. You reach the council's palace, but are stopped in front of its gates by a guard.
The Council of Magi is convened to take care of the perished land. They mustn't be disturbed.
The perished land? You mean the barrier? Is there something wrong with it?
The guard shrugs his shoulders.
Won't be anything the Council can't sort out.
The hamlet of Sungird certainly lives up to its name. You arrive as the sun sets behind the tower of a Palandial temple, lighting up its stained glass. There's a shop in the village, and through the window, as well as some everyday objects and food, you also spy a shelf full of books. A small bell rings as you enter the shop. The twins look around, but seem rather disinterested, until they discover a couple of gemstones on display. On the wall to your left is the bookshelf you saw through the window. It's quite unusual for a village shop to sell books. You stroll towards the bookshelf and read some of the titles written on the spines of the books. You know many of the works from Lot Yonan's library.
Oh, by fracas, look, dear brother! The scholar really is looking at books!
It's an interesting selection, Boindle. I could make some recommendations for you.
Boindle throws his arm around your shoulder and pulls you slowly away from the bookshelf.
What if someone sees you? Here, this is more our kind of thing.
You follow him reluctantly and are shown the selection of gemstones. Boindle is walking next to you in silence. Now and then he looks at you from the side.
And you really do like books?
Yeah, I'm curious. And you can find many answers in books.
Won't you have found all the answers at some point?
Quite the contrary. The more books you read, the more questions you ask.
Ah, I knew it. All just a waste of time.
You approach the village and can tell even from far off that something isn't right. The smell of burnt wood and death is in the air.
By Vracus.
The piggies have really shown those pointy ears. We couldn't have done it any better.
Stay alert. I want to find out what happened to Guren.
You have read about the elves and their buildings. This here had always just been a small example of their architectural skill, which achieved perfection in Alandur. Now burning and ruined, the pavilion makes an even sadder impression.
Hoofprints! Burned into the ground!
Alfar?
The fire in Boindle's eyes flares up with delight.
Huzzah! That would make a change from those stupid piggies. Did you hear that, brother? We might get to test our blades on Tion's pointy ears.
Green Glade was one of the few places in Girdlegard where humans and elves lived together. You don't see any elven features among all the faces contorted with pain and fear. You look away. The hand that painted this picture was that of a master. It is composed exclusively in shades of red, but every single little detail is painstakingly and precisely reflected. Trees, the remains of buildings, bodies. You hesitate.
This picture portrays the village in its state of ruin.
Examining the canvas more closely, you realise that it is actually made of skin, and the red paint seems more than suspicious now.
This is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen.
The smell of the smoke has accompanied you for a while now, but here, so close to the bodies, it is masked by the sweet smell of death. You have a bitter taste in your mouth and have to pull yourself together to avoid vomiting in disgust. The elf maiden's graceful snow-white face still radiates beauty, in terrible contrast to the rest of her appearance. From the neck down, she is nothing more than a blood-red, damp and glistening skeleton. There are long nails sticking through her thin bones, and where her beautiful eyes once were, are now gaping black holes. In your imagination, you see the Alfar's shadow mare standing around the Lady of Greenglade, devouring her, while she, nailed to the tree, squirms and screams in pain. You quickly put your hand over your mouth. The body of the man is riddled with arrows and is lying in a small patch of undamaged ground, while a sea of flames must have raged in a circle around him. The robes remind you of those of Lot Yonan's famuli. This, plus the fact that the man used magic, makes you quite sure that this is Guren.
Guren had these books on him when he was attacked. Was he trying to bring them to safety?
Your eyes fall upon a sealed letter next to the books. The circumstances seem grave enough for you to break the seal.
Greetings, Tugger. I am glad to hear that you finally wish to confide in Lot Yonan. I have found out something new about the demon. It's all written in these books. I think they are the key to his destruction, or I hope so, at least. Yours faithfully, Guren. What demon are they talking about?
You instinctively think about how the magical barrier is only a few days' march north of here, and beyond it, Varakas only knows what kind of creatures live in the Perish Land.
You destroyed my painting. Now I need fresh blood to paint a new one.
Huzzah! This will be fun! We finally get to fight!
I hope your blood doesn't clot too much. It has to be nice and fluid for my fine brushstrokes.
Ha! How do you plan to defeat us, pointy ears? There are 3 of us!
Oh, only 3. That makes it easier.
She looks over the corpses.
Oh, Tharin Lueth Buanre!
What's happening?
That's the perished land.
Impossible! Greenglade is south of the barrier.
I know of nothing else that can resurrect the dead. Knock their heads off or they'll keep coming back.
Yeah!
And again! I can't do that yet! Please wait a moment!
What is it? Who's next? Huh? Easy! He hardly put up a fight! I didn't hit you very hard! Too easy! Vile creature! Ha ha! I didn't hit you very hard! Ow! Another one bites the dust! And again! He hardly put up a fight! What now? Who's next? He hardly put up a fight. I'm not fighting you very hard. Yes, yes, so. Another one bites the dust. Yeah! Ow! Another one bites the dust. Yeah! What is it? And again. I didn't hit you very hard. What is it? Vile creature! And again! I'm not that quick! Too easy!
Huh? Killed! And again! I'll be ready soon! Who's next?
Dwarves, you protected the glade.
The perished land. The barrier has fallen.
You can feel your stomach cramping. Unlike Boindale, you can't say a word.
The damn Magi only had one job!
So this is what it is like to rise from the dead. I feel nothing. I am left with nothing. My love, my beauty, my home, and my forest. Everything has been taken from me. I beg you, have mercy and put an end to my suffering.
Without even being able to look into her eyes, you recognize the sadness in the elf maiden's expression. The dignity that she must once have radiated can only be imagined in her current state.
Garen was here, and I've heard that you elves have special abilities in battle. Did the Alfar take you by surprise in your sleep?
I felt her presence, but when I confronted the elf, she had already killed the first of us and resurrected the perished land. It fills humans and dwarves with a hatred for life. It turns you into beasts. They charge through the village like a fury, and everyone that they killed became one of theirs.
If the perished land spreads further south, then Nodon won't need any orcs, ogres, or Alfar. One human losing their life in the perished land would be enough for the madness to sweep through the land like the plague.
Your stomach turns, but you know that it's right. You've never seen the twins looking so serious. They would pit themselves against any army of orcs, but this is something beyond their power, and yours.
We need the Magi. They must rebuild the barrier. We must go to Lot before the perished land spreads further. He will know what is to be done.
Neither of your companions objects.
I can't believe it. The barrier has fallen. How could that happen?
Who could tell? Anything could go wrong with all that hocus-pocus.
It had held back the perished land since the fall of the Fifthlings. Reinforcing the barrier whenever it loses power is the primary duty of the great Magi. I can't imagine how Nodon or anyone else could have broken through it.
You think of the demons mentioned in Garen's letter. You wonder whether it could be possible that a demon from the outer lands might possess powers so great that even the 6 Magi weren't ready for it.